Bint al Sahn is a Yemeni traditional dish usually eaten at lunchtime. In Arabic, Bint al Sahn means daughter or girl of a plate. Hi everyone, this is Catherine from Sheba Yemeni Foods, and today I'm going to be sharing a recipe for Bint al Sahn with you. It's a recipe I've actually done once before on the website, but I wanted to improve the video and also the recipe, and that's what I'm doing today. Okay, so the first thing you'll see here is I have a nice large pan, which is a 14-inch cake pan that I bought on Amazon.com. You could probably also use a 12-inch or a 10-inch if you have those already in your house. Yeah, I'm going to put a link below the video, so if you want to buy this pan, you can. It is an affiliate link, which means I get commission if you do buy it. You could also buy this probably at any cake store near your home, or if you're living in an Arab country, you should be able to get it at any market for really cheap, so that would work out well for you. Okay, so let's look at the ingredients. Okay, so the ingredients which I use for the recipe are 4 cups of flour. This is bread flour, so it came in a package like this. It's just, you can see it says bread flour on it. It's different from regular white flour. And the reason I use bread flour is because it doesn't break as easily as regular flour when you knead it. So when you knead it, it becomes stronger. I also have melted butter. This is 3/4 of a cup of melted butter, which is a stick and a half. You could also use salmon or probably other types of oil if you wanted to. And then I have separate 1/4 cup of butter melted again. This is going to go in the dough and this is going to go between the layers. 4 eggs, honey, black seeds they're called. You can get these online in like spice shops. You could probably also get them at Amazon.com. If you want, I'll put a link below the video to there so you can find those. Or you can find them in like Arab stores or Indian stores. They have them. They're called black seeds, and they're sometimes also called black cumin seeds. If you can't find those, you could probably just use regular sesame seeds. I've seen some people do that before, and that works well too. 1 teaspoon of yeast and 1 teaspoon of salt. And then you need water. Right here I have a 1/4 cup of water, which is what I'm going to start with, but depending on the weather and the weather where you live and like how humid it is, you may need less or more water. So what I'm going to do is just going to put this water in to start, and then if I need more water to make the dough like the proper consistency, I'm going to add more after. And for all of you not living in the United States who use different measurements, this is the size of a teaspoon that I use for the yeast and the salt. Okay? Okay, so to knead the dough together, I'm going to use a mixer, but you could also just do it by hand, which would be fine. Just knead it like you would regular bread. And I'm going to use the dough hook, which is perfect for kneading. First, combine the yeast in a 1/4 cup of water, just so it dissolves. Then mix together the flour, eggs, butter, water, and yeast. And knead it all together for about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so now you can see what the dough looks like after about 15 minutes of kneading. It's important, see, it's not sticking at all to the sides, that's good. and it's not sticking to my hands either. You don't want it too sticky, or else you're not going to be able to toss out the layers by hand. However, I think it's actually a bit dry, the dough, and I think I might add just a tiny bit of water. See how it's kind of breaking apart a bit? It might tear easily when I'm trying to toss out the layers. So I'm just gonna add, maybe a water, maybe like a teaspoon at a time until it gets to the right consistency. Okay, now you can see what the dough looks like after I've added some extra water. I probably added just a couple tablespoons. I would say depending on the climate where you live, you might need to add anywhere from a couple tablespoons to say a quarter cup. But if you add it slowly, you'll be able to do it, to gauge it fine. So now you can see that the dough is perfectly soft, but yet it's not sticking at all to my hands, and it's not sticking to the bowl either, and that's just what we want. Flour a flat working surface or a pan. Now divide the dough into about 8 to 10 equal pieces. Form each piece into a round ball with your hands. Coat lightly with oil and then cover and let it sit for about 30 minutes. If your house is cold, you may need to put it in the oven, a slightly warm oven. Don't cook it, it doesn't need to be hot. I actually had to do this because it's winter time here and the house is just too cold, so it would take too long to rise. Oil the pan lightly. Now start to toss out each ball into a flat layer. You can do this by hand or you can use a rolling pin. It needs to be very thin and see-through. One technique you can use is just to toss the dough from your right to your left hand back and forth, and slowly it'll just get bigger. tossed out the first layer so thin that you can nearly see through it. Place it in the bottom of the pan and then sprinkle some melted butter on top. Then proceed to do the same thing with the next dough ball. After you've tossed out all the layers and assembled the Bint al Sahn, on the top layer don't sprinkle butter, but instead whip up one egg yolk, separate the egg from the yolk, and just spread that on top. Then you need to add some black seeds on top. After 18 to 20 minutes, take the Bint al Sahn out of the oven and serve it hot with honey on top. And if it doesn't come out perfect the first time, don't worry, just keep practicing. For me, I had to try it like 5 times before I actually got something that I was happy with.